Louis. So, tonight, well, got a mixed bag of goodies tonight for your journals. So, I hope that you will enjoy it. Oh, come on, you silly computer. Give me me live. There we go. So we want that, and we want live chat. There we go. So hello and good evening. I hope you're having a lovely week, and I hope that you've had a lovely weekend, because for us here in the UK it was a bank holiday weekend, and so it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday off work for most people. The weather was atrocious, which is typical. Well, not atrocious, but it wasn't great. Which is typical of a bank holiday here in the UK. So yeah, there we go. I decided, after looking through some of my very old videos, because some of them are 6, 7, 8 years old, that there were some things, hi there Kim, there were some things that when I did like flip throughs of journals that I'd made, there was quite a few things in there that I actually haven't covered in terms of doing tutorials on them. So I'm going to try and do a few things from some of my old videos showing you how to make some of those things. Hi there, Becky. And I posted on the group yesterday that I had spent an hour and a half, having a break in between, of course, for a cup of tea, tea dyeing. Don't you just love that sound? Tea dyeing a load of papers, and also coffee dyeing a load of papers. Now, Kim actually mentioned, did I record myself doing these? And no, I didn't, because I have actually done a video on these before. Hi there, Helen. Hell, everyone. Okay. Hi there, Barb. Well done, she made it on time to and live. So I thought that I would do a quick recap of how I created this particular paper. As I say, I have done videos on this before, but who's inclined to go back and watch old videos? So this was an ideal one of those, looking back at old videos and recapping on some stuff. Hi there, Angie. Kim, first of all, I owe you an apology. So last Friday, when I mentioned about the new membership on the group, you said, oh, I'll have to go away and do some calculations, and I said something like, well, it's only £2 and £4.50, so I'm not quite sure what you need to calculate. But of course, I never thought you need to calculate how much that is in your own currency. Never thought about that, did I? So I do apologise. I hope you didn't feel that I jumped on you saying what I did. But anyway, let's get down to it. So I'm going to show you how I did these. All right. Is there space? No. Let me put them there. Okay. So I've got some coffee dyed liquid left over. So this is just basically my best coffee diluted in some water, and the strength of it is entirely up to you. It's all a little bit trial and error. Hi there, Vivian. So the more coffee you have in, the stronger the effect. The less coffee you have in. Oh, do you know what I forgot? I knew I'd forget something. I haven't got any photocopier paper up here. What can I use instead? Let Let me just look and see what I've got. Oh heck, that's not really photocopier paper. Do you know, typical, isn't it? I knew I'd forget something. I knew it. Of all the paper that I own, and it's all downstairs. I'll think of something in a minute. Okay, let's just go through this first. So this, we call it here in the UK, we call it anaglypta wallpaper. All right, and it's textured. So as you can see from, if I bring it in real close, as you can see from this here, it's really textured wallpaper. It's the sort of thing that my mum and dad put up years ago, except they brought out some really nice new pretty ones now. Hi there, Pat. So as you can see as well, I've already used part of it. Now I'm limited on space, so bear with. Actually, I can do it on my coffee dyed paper, can't I? Ooh. Just reach for a piece, because this was photocopier paper. So those that I've just shown you, I actually did on just plain white photocopy paper, nothing done to it at all. This, however, is coffee dyed paper, right? So it'll have a slightly different effect. So basically, all I'm going to do, and you need to make sure that you've got something underneath your surface, is I'm going to paint some of the coffee onto this paper. And because it's already been soaked with coffee in the past, I actually don't need to do any priming on it. Now, if I was starting on this fresh piece up there, I would cover it in a layer of this coffee dyed mixture to start with, and let it just soak in a little bit so that it's kind of prepped for accepting the liquid. Right, so all I'm doing is just painting it on. I'm not worried about just going over the top of the design. I'm actually going into all the nooks and crannies. I don't want it soaking wet. But I'm just going to let that soak in a little. Now, I wouldn't normally let it soak in so much. And I would normally, when I've done this, I would put it in the oven to quickly dry. All right. So you just let, if it was this fresh piece up here, you just let that liquid soak into the paper first, and then you go over it. Once it's sort of soaked in, you go over it with another layer of the coffee dyed mixture so that it sort of sits more on the top. Okay, and then you get your paper and decide which way round you want it and which part of the pattern you want. So I'm going to sit it on there, and I'm sorry it's slightly off camera, but I can't fit it all onto my desk. So I'm going to sit it there, and I'm just going to lightly press the paper into the pattern. And as you can see, that liquid is already soaking through to the back side. So it does mean that you'll get a slight imprint onto the back side of your paper as well. Right, so that kind of tells me now that it's kind of done. Right, now, because I'm running short on space, this is slightly damp, and so I would be inclined to put that into my oven to just quickly dry off. And it's a warm oven. I'm not giving you any temperatures because everybody's oven is different. Some use centigrade, some use Fahrenheit. You just need a warm oven, just like you're cooking a pie. And this particular type of coffee dye printing takes but mere seconds for it to dry off. All right, so you just let your oven warm up and then pop it in. But I put a piece of grease-proof paper underneath so that it doesn't pick up the grease and muck off the racks in my oven, and that's it. It's that simple. Okay, so I'm going to do another one, and then I'll hopefully that will have dried by the end of the night, so I'll be able to show you. So as you can see, look, this second layer of coffee, I'm not putting half as much on it because the background has already absorbed all the coffee. So we're just going to quickly do it just over the top, like so. Get another piece of coffee dyed paper. And then I'm just going to sit that on top, gently press. So you can get quite a few of these done in quite a short space of time. And Jane made me laugh because she went, "Oh, can you do me some? How much do you charge?" I put £1,000 for 10 copies. And she said, "Is that mates rates?" I went, "Yeah." Did make me chuckle. Now you can see there, look, if you can see just in the corner of the screen there was too much coffee there, so it's made a big splodge. But it doesn't matter, it all adds to the texture. So there you go, so there's my second piece. Right, so that's it on coffee dyed paper. And bring that over there. And that's what it looked like on just white copy paper. All right, so easy peasy one to start with. Right, let me move this light out the road. And then I roll that up, save it, and use it again. So I can keep reusing the same piece for quite a while. Now, where am I going to put that coffee so I don't knock it over? Let me put you there. And also, I need to come and sit up in this craft room to just tidy it up. It's an absolute tip. Okay, let me wipe that over because I want to make sure I don't get coffee on anything else. Now, whilst I'm talking about old things, I don't mean me. Whilst I'm talking about old videos and doing some recaps, one of the things that I thought of, Carol, I love the look of your coffee dyed papers on top of the textured wallpaper. Thank you very much. I like it too. So whilst I'm talking about old things, and I've been looking through the old videos, I came across a video and I thought, ooh, actually, so we're going to do it in June. I've been asking on the group, or on the page, on my page I should say, what people thought about it. Now, you don't have to do it with me, but I thought that there were some good ideas in there that I haven't covered, and I thought it would be a good way of making up a journal. And so therefore, if you want to, come along and join me do it. So it'll be a little bit like the 30-day challenge that I did a long time ago. I am not going to do a video every day. So it'll be 2 or 3 videos a week that I'll do, and I'll do them as live so that I can cover more in that time period. And I contemplated whether to use the original kit that I used or to go and get a new kit and do a newer version. And I spoke to Andrea Allen of Artie Maze, because that's whose kit it was that I used. And I'm not saying nothing to that, Pat. I'm just saying. And she hasn't got it anymore. But she said that if you were all interested in doing it and fancied getting the kit, she would reload it back up onto her Ko-fi page and it will be for sale. All right. I did contemplate another kit that she'd got, but then I went and found in my Artie Mays folder this little lot, which was the original kit that I used for this particular journal, and it's called Lady Rose. So I transferred the kit onto disk so that it wasn't sitting on my computer. And I'd got all these little bits and I'd got all these papers, and I thought, do you know what, it's ridiculous buying another kit when I've already got this. And I want you out because I need you for the next part. So I am actually going to redo mine starting on the 1st of June. So no, the first Friday in June, because it's the 1st of June on Sunday. So whatever date it is next Friday is when I'll be starting it, and I'm going to go through the whole lot. From how to make the journal, because the first Friday of the month is how to go about making a journal, and then, as I say, I'll be using all these papers that I've got left over. I will have to print some more off, and I'll have a word with Andrea to see if she wouldn't mind putting the kit up onto her Ko-fi page. So I will post to say that it's live on her Ko-fi page and give you the link to it. Okay, so that's the plan. Now I did put a link up on the posts section excuse me, on the posts section of my YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm in a slurp of tea. If you want to go and have a look at the video, it's 7 years old. So it's a little old-fashioned now in comparison to what we're creating today. So I will be changing it up. I'm not doing an exact replica. So I will be adding some extra things to it that we utilise more so today than we kind of did back then, way in the past. God, it wasn't that long ago. So I need this envelope for the next thing that I'm going to show you. And I need another piece of coffee dyed paper. Good job I did these yesterday, didn't it? Because again, as I said, looking back through some of my old videos, there were some things that I haven't shown you how to do them. And I think that this was one of them. I talked about it and I explained it, but I didn't show you. So basically, all you need is a piece of A4 or letter size paper. Doesn't matter whether it's printed or whether it's coffee dyed. But at least with the coffee dyed, I can do some decorating on it if so desired. So all I'm doing over the top of the crinkling of the paper is I'm just folding it in half widthways. It's really simple, this. And then I'm folding the bottom bit up. Ice cream man's on his way, can you hear it? And then I'm folding the top bit down so that I'm basically making a paper envelope. But what I did on the original version was I had a scalloped edge. Now, I know that what I will have done, and that's why I need this envelope, this is one of Artie Mays' envelopes, and look, she's got this beautiful scalloped edge envelope. So all I did was I must have traced around, let's do it there, I must have traced around this shape. Now it's slightly wider than my paper, so I've tried to do it so that it's equal, overhanging on each side, so that I get, so there you go, get my squizzers I'm going to cut through both pieces of paper, she says, hopefully. There he goes, the ice cream man. It's because the kids are on half term this week. As I say, with it having been a bank holiday weekend, the kids are not at school this week, so we'll have been thinking, ooh, I'll be able to get loads of money from the kids being out of school. Okay, so I need to bring that down a bit so that it overlaps a little bit more. There we go. There, that'll do. Okay, so I can now ink up the edges of that. You lot quite happily chatting to yourselves in there, aren't you? Okay, and I'm just going to ink up around those edges a bit. You can't beat a bit of inking up. Oh, this is my walnut stain. Thought I picked up vintage photo, but obviously not. Now, normally what we do is we ink up where those fold marks are, but what it'll do is it'll section the paper. If you don't mind that, then you can do that. Okay, so I've just done a little bit of light inking up, and then obviously I'd need to do the inside as well. Now again, I'll tell you what I haven't got. My heart punch out. Just bear with me a second. Not everything is within arm's reach. Okay, I need a bit of pretty paper. So, have I got any to hand? I'll tell you what, we'll use you. You're a bit of spare left over. Oh no, I want it the other way up, don't I? Shall we have it with a little flower in or not? Let's do it not. So I want these. Oh, I knew it was going to do that. To rip that out now. It's going to be one of them days, isn't it? Where nothing goes into plan. Right, so I'm going to fold my paper up. Right, try again. Paper was too thin. They do get fussy, these punches, sometimes. See? It does it when the paper's thick enough. So 1, 2. Where do you think you're going, mister? No, there's nothing over there for you. So I'm going to end up with 4. But what the heck? Okay. So imagine all of that is completely inked up. And this was not on this particular envelope, but it is a technique that I used on a different envelope. So I'm going to need some seam binding. So I think we'll use you. we'll ink up 3 of these hearts. Actually, I wanted that one. Oh well. We ink up 4 of these hearts because I want to stick those 2 that are the same. I want to stick them back to back in a minute. Obviously, you can use whatever shape you so wish. Glue. So I'm going to stick that heart there. I want my seam binding as well. So that will go like that. So let's stick the seam binding down first. Then that's, I know that that's done. Hang on, my nozzle's gunked. Do you know, even though you put a pin in, it still gets gunked up. There we go. Okay, and then glue on the heart all over. And then that will sit on top of the seam binding. I have to move my seam binding across a bit. Told you, it's going to be one of them days. There we go. Wanted it coming out at the bottom point. Okay, and then that is going to wrap round. I'm going to wrap it round twice. And then I'm going to cut it off. Maybe round about where that heart is. And then put glue on the back of this heart. And put the seam binding on the back. It's all crinkled up, this seam binding, from dyeing it, crinkling it up. There we go. Then another one on top of that. So they are back to back. And I'm just going to go around with the ink again, because obviously there'll be a little bit of a white edge if they haven't quite stuck together. Now obviously you can decorate these little hearts up to your heart's content. Haha, see what I did there, heart's content. Ha. Alright. And then that sits down there and that becomes its closure. My pin back in there. Alright, but what it means is that you can open it up and you've got a whole load of writing space, because you can open it up that way as well, and then you've got all this writing space, you've got all this writing space, and you've got all this writing space here, as well as, you know, you could just keep going. So you could add pockets to the inside of it. You could do some stitching on it all the way around. Decorate it up to your heart's content. But it was just a cute little way of making something very, very simple that would look really quite pretty and decorative in your journal. All right, so That's an adorable, as Pat's just called it, an adorable little envelope, extra writing space. So if you've got a pocket or a belly band, you could just sit it inside. So I've combined two old videos together there, because I did the hearts closure on a different kind of envelope. All right, so that was number one. Number two, again, I think I talked about this, but I'm not sure if I ever actually demonstrated it. So I'm going to get this journal here, and I'm going to use this page here, and I glued this half down onto the back of this page here. Now I don't like that green, but it goes well with this picture here. I'm just going to take out the rest of the signature. The other half I haven't done anything with yet, but I'm going to come to that in a bit with these. So I need to remember that, you know, I'm going to be going up to that crease line there, because that's where the centre of the signature is. And it was to put a washi tape border around all four sides. And I can't quite decide whether I want to use the gold one or the green one. I think I might use the green one because you'll be able to see it a lot better. But it was how you go about getting mitered corners. And what was funny was today, hang on, another slurp of tea. I'd had this idea for another journal, and funnily enough, I was watching this video of this lady who linked to another lady who linked to Bohemian Crafting, who'd done one along similar ideas to something that I'd been thinking of for a while. But obviously with me not being around for a little while, never got round to it. So I thought it was quite funny. Now normally, as many of you know, I don't like washi tape because it doesn't stick very well. But in this instance, we don't want it to stick very well. So I'm just going to very loosely place it down onto my paper and extend it beyond where I want it to go. Make sure that it's lined up there. Okay, didn't do that very well, Carol. Come on. Right, so I'm not really. Oh, it's a bit skewy. It's curving. Right, then I'm going to get another piece and again very loosely stick it on top and overlap it, and then again cut off the excess. Now I'm just going to show you with these two bits here. So basically what we're going to do, did I tell you the reason why? So yeah, so what was funny was, oh God, I've forgotten her name. What's the lady's name on Bohemian Crafting? Oh, I've drawn a blank. Is she used the same technique to make some picture frames? Come on, someone in chat, tell me what's her name. I wouldn't mind, but I know it, but I can't think of it right at this moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut from this corner here through the two pieces of washi tape to this corner over here. All right, so this is why I didn't want it fully stuck down. Oh, I'm going to be better off with those scissors, I think. Okay, so oh, I had it then, it's gone. No. And then we peel off those two little tiny bits, and you end up with, hopefully, she says, a mitered, not a perfect mitered corner. I need to just trim that little bit more there. You end up with a mitered corner over here. Eva, that was it. Thank you. Eva from Bohemian Crafting. So let me just trim that little tiny bit off there, but it does work. Almost. I'm cocking this up. Oh, sorry, maybe shouldn't have said that. I'm not doing so well on this. Come on. It's a real simple technique, Carol. Which you've done hundreds of times. There we go. So we've got a better mitered corner. So you need to be careful when you're using patterned washi tape, because sometimes the pattern can look really odd. All right, so let's try and do another one and not mess it up this time, Carol. So we're going to overlap. This is really crinkly and curvy. Can you see that crinkle? It's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to overlap, but I'm not going to press down hard, because I can always come back. See, look, it's running off again. Told you, going to be one of them days today. And then we're going to pick those two pieces up and just carefully peel them back. If I do it up close so you can see, so we're cutting from that corner point up to the opposite corner point, and then you peel off those extra bits. One will be underneath, one will be on top, and then you should end up with, oh, you've done it again. You should end up with a perfect mitre. I can only think, a bad workman always blames his tools, but I can only think because it's crinkly, it's not sitting squarely. Right, and then we'll do the bottom one. So I've got two to do down here now. So pick those two up together. And it just means that if you've got a very plain page and you're not quite sure what to add to it, then you can always do a washi tape mitered frame. Yay, look, it did it that time. Yeah, if your washi isn't skewy-fee. And then I would come back and I would lift off this washi tape bit by bit and stick it down with some glue. Maybe it's my eyes are skew if I wasn't getting corner to corner. So it might not be the washi tape's fault. It might be the creator that's not getting it right. Yay! Right, so it means that you end up with a nice frame on your paper. All right, and as I say, I would very carefully peel some of this back and put some glue onto the washi tape. Come on, glue. Are you going to come out or are you going to play silly beggars? Try again. Oh, it's well and truly gunked. Come on. There we go. Making sure I definitely get up on that point and then glue that down. And then come in from the other end. Oh, that's it. Now you're coming out like, you know, nobody's business now. Okay, glue that bit down and then glue that last little bit. And I would do that around all four sides. Okay, so that's how you do or don't do skewy feet, washi tape, mitered corner border. In fact, it's gone down skewy feet again, look. It's all crinkled. See, I knew I should have done it with the gold. But I would do that to all four pieces of washi tape. But it just means now, put it back in place so that you can see. It now just takes away the total glare of that all over green and just adds a little something so that you can add other things inside of there, some pictures or whatever, or write in it. All right, so that was number 3. Number 4, I'm going to show you on the opposite side of this green. All right, so I've done it as a full page there so that that flips and that flips. And I might be using these journal cards, but I bet you a pound to a penny they're going to be too big, because such is the way of my life tonight. So again, these were Artie May's, and I've already glued the printed paper to a piece of card. So that's what I did earlier. So, seeing those in chat, what do you think about this idea about a rerun of, well, it's not a rerun, is it? But doing this journal again in June, so that if you want to make it along with me, then you can. But it means that you'll get to see some of the techniques in there that I haven't shown previously. I want the flutter by one, and I want this one. Okay, so I'm going to use these two journaling cards here, but I'm not going to use them as journaling cards. I'm going to use them as tuck spots. So normally as a tuck spot, we'd probably put one down in the corner down there, and I can tell now this pen is big enough. So let me swap to, it's a good job I had this coffee dyed paper. I don't mean to be difficult, but could we make along but using a different kit? Oh yeah, you don't have to use the same kit as me. Not at all, not by any stretch. As I say, I did contemplate making it with a totally different kit of Arty Mazes. But I just thought, because I've got all those bits already cut out and ready to go, I thought might as well use them up. But no, use whatever kit you want. Or your own papers, whatever. Alright, so this is the page of our journal. And so normally, if I was going to make that into a tuck spot, I would just glue around the two sides and then I would just tuck something inside of there. And again, this is from another old video. Can't tell you which one because I can't remember now. I've watched too many today that I did in another video. So I'm going to glue one down up there and one down there, and have the two overlapping in the middle. Right, in fact I might even round. Do I want to round the corners? No, I'm going to leave them square. Oh, actually I don't want them that way around. Look, I might need to use a different one. Yeah, that's better. Because it's on that one as well, look. There too. Right, so what we're going to do here is going to glue this one down first. This mat keeps moving. So I'm going to put glue around two sides. 2 sides. That was for me. Oh no, I mean, as with anything that I do, you can use whatever papers you've got or want, or you know, I'm just showing you with what I have. There are specific ideas though that lend themselves to the kit, so you might have to, if you're going to use a different kit, you might have to do a little bit of thought process on it, on some of the things. If you have a look at the video, you'll get an idea, because I use specific parts of the kit to create specific elements. Okay, so I'm going to overlap that one here. So I'm going to glue down here and here. Sort of mine shot. Down here and here. And I'm also going to put a little line of glue just in this area here on the back. That's the bottom, Carol. That's the side. And then I want a little line of glue there to just join the two together. So then that's going to sit there, like that. So now it means that you've got one massive, great big tucky spot. So let's see if I can use one of these. So then you would put, these are too big probably, your journaling card, oh no, it fits, or your envelope or whatever will sit behind those two. So you could sit it square on, or you could sit it in diagonally, but it will have to come out diagonally. So it's a little bit too big really. So it wants a smaller version. Let's just trim this down a little bit. There you go, see, that fits in much nicer, doesn't it? So it's kind of a little bit of an optical illusion, because you're a bit like, oh, hang on a minute, there's one behind there. How did that get behind there? And it's because it's tucked behind these two pieces, and it just makes a slightly different element. So if we used, say, a little label like this, I haven't got any to hand, you know, put it on the side there, just protruding out, do something on this side. Again, you can decorate it to your heart's content. So that is all that I have for you this evening. 4 different little elements to think about for your journal. So we have got the double tuck spot bit there. We have got the washi tape. Try not to use skew with washi tape because it doesn't work so well. Border there. We have got the little wraparound envelope that opens out so that you've got a really nice big journaling space. And then we've also got, these are the coffee dyed papers that I did earlier. So using that wallpaper, you can see the pattern isn't as clear on the coffee dyed paper as opposed to just doing it purely onto white copy paper. Right, so the pattern stands out a lot more. And you can see a little bit of the pattern comes out on the back. All right. I'm always concerned folks won't discover all my fun hidden treasures. Well, it's good because eventually they do when they really start looking. Okay, so 4 different little elements for you there, which I thought were quite interesting, and could give you a little idea as to what you could do in your journals that's a little bit different. Okay, anybody got any questions? Just whilst I have a slap of my cup of tea. That's a good idea, Kim. Kim's just put, I always include a little note telling them to look for them. Maybe you should just do a video on YouTube of a flip through, and then you can point them out. And then once they've received it, you can upload the video, and then they can go and take a bit of a look and go like, ooh, didn't know that was there. So on the 1st of June, this Sunday, you will get your first kit from the membership. You've already been sent out your words are failing me. I've already sent out your complimentary kit, so you should all have that. This coming Friday, I will do some more of this sort of thing, going through some old ideas. Yeah, so the cars is a freebie, just in case anyone wants to use it for maybe a Father's Day card or something. Sunday, I'll be covering what you've got in your first kit and some ideas for that. The following Friday, we'll start on the new journal, redoing the, what was it called again? Lady Rose, the Lady Rose journal. So if you want to go and have a look at the Lady Rose journal, and then you'll get an idea of what I'm going to be recreating and showing you how to go about doing it. All right, slightly different ideas, but you know, the same ideas, but slightly more up to date, I suppose. All right, and as I say, once I've had a word with Andrea to say yes, we'd like her to upload the kit to a Ko-fi shop, then I'll let you know when she's actually done that. But yeah, I went looking for it myself, and I was like, can't find it. When I spoke to her this morning, she said, I think I discontinued that one. I was like, okay. So she said, I'll have to see if I've still got a copy on my computer. I said, well, fortunately for you, if you haven't, I have. So I might have to send her a copy of her own digital kit to be able to upload it. But anyway, there you go. thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you've given me a thumbs up. As Pat has probably already asked you, and if you can share the video, that would be lovely. If you're new here, hello. Thank you for coming along. Hope you'll subscribe and continue to carry on watching the videos as I create them. And take care, everyone. And I'll see you all again on Friday with some more little old ideas, but the oldies are always the best. Okay, guys, take care of yourselves. Ciao, arrivederci, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, adios amigos. I don't know why I always have to say goodbye, friends, but, you know, it doesn't sound right just saying adios. It has to be adios amigos, doesn't it? I bet you I'm not even saying it right. All right, guys, see you later. Take care. Thanks for joining me. See you again soon. Bye.